As we look over the divisions, we are last with last with 9 points in sixth place. But really, we are awful. One of the worst teams I've ever seen in my life. And before I even do this video, I don't even know why I have to say this, but I'll just do it now. Just take these videos with a grain of salt, honestly. I love NHL. This is the only series that I constantly buy every year with the expectation of it being good, and this is honestly one of my favorite NHLs of all time. I mean, just between the Enforcer engine and the game itself is fairly polished. The only times I'm getting frustrated is just in the moment because, well, first of all, look at the fucking record. We're 2-17-5. It's been a really big struggle. I can show you. I hit the wrong button. I can show you some of the sliders I've been working with to try to make the game more balanced. But in the moment, it's just nothing more frustrating for me as a goaltender when I just feel helpless. So, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can really do. I can tell you that honestly, what goes through my mind as a goaltender isn't exactly what a healthy person should be thinking at the certain point where you're giving up a goal or something's going wrong. Screwing around here. So I honestly just take it with a grain of salt. So I can't really tell you much else. Knocked the difficulty down to pro, and it actually works out pretty well in terms of shots. The game isn't horribly imbalanced. One thing I am going to change right now, though, is the shooting. Just out of, again, rage, I jumped down the shot powers pretty drastically, and they don't really help anyways, but the shots are noticeably slower to the point where it's almost ridiculous, so I'm just going to bring those back up. Everything for the sliders, I think, is the same from last time I checked, except for the goalies. I knocked down the CPU goalies because they're ridiculous. Our team was not scoring, and that might have a lot to do, obviously, with the overalls of each individual, but they were just awful. And I turned down my own screen effect because, again, I was having a lot of problems seeing the puck and just reacting to it beyond my own power. I mean, just because the game itself has that huge screen factor takes into effect with a goalie, you can really feel it and tell when you're moving. It's almost like you can't do it. And, again, it provides a lot of frustrating points. And then reaction speed, again, I bumped mine all the way up, and then theirs all the way down. And honestly, you could say I look like a fucking idiot for doing that, but it does balance itself out, and I haven't had any, ridiculous or wacky games because of it. So now that all that's taken care of, really, I'm just gonna jump right into it. And one more thing, I did. Now that this game has been fully released to the public, I was able to buy a boost pack. Honestly, it gets you up to a 72. It'll show you in a second. So I shouldn't have gone here to begin with. I should have gone to the attributes to show you exactly what the hybrid boost pack will do to you as a goaltender. And really, it's not that big of a difference. Again, it gets me up to a 72. I was a 66 before. It does help you out pretty much with your saves. It's well-rounded. You're pretty much at 80s for everything, which isn't too bad. It's better than the 70s or 75s, the mid-70, high 70 range, so it's still a little bit better. Again, it rounds out this a bit more, so your rebound control is better, and it is noticeably better in the game. You can tell that you're not coughing up as many in bad spots, really. And then, again, speed's a big deal, agility as well. So it helps out a little bit, but again, it was like $3, I guess, for it, and that's on season ticket, 20% discount, so whatever, like $4 or $5. If it's worth it to you, go for it. I recommend it if you're just starting out. If you've been playing this game, and maybe you're right around where I am, you're about close to 30 games in, it might not be totally worth it for you. You might just want to stick it out and continue forward. I kind of thought it would get me up to at least a mid-70, perhaps a 75, and didn't get to that point. Got me to a 72, so whatever. You're just going to have to weigh your options there. It does help. It's just, again, like I mentioned, prior to this, there's going to be a certain ceiling where it's going to be not that much useful for you, so I'm just going to take a quick drink. And we're going to get underway. Screw the intros, I've seen them enough times. I still haven't gotten a win yet, honestly. You can see our last inning again of 7-3. Just awful. I mean, I don't know what it is about it. It's just we are so bad. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to already pause this and change this fucking camera because I keep forgetting to do this in the global settings, so it keeps resetting back. You'll want this on high because that's where we are. We want to be high. So, again, this has been such a frustrating game, just in and of itself. I'll just tell you right out again, I fucking suck at this game. I won't even allow myself to just sugarcoat anything. I fucking suck. I'm a fucking bitch. I'm a pussy. I'm a crybaby. Whatever. I'm everything. I totally agree with that, that whole description of myself. Because it is so frustrating that I can't help it. It boils over, and I just want to cry all night. That's what this game will do to you. Just look at that. Look at that. I'm just gonna keep composure, but look what happened. Let's watch that replay real quick, because this is great. I mean, this hasn't happened the whole time. I don't want to, confuse you, but just look at that. I mean, I didn't do that on purpose, did I? I mean, I just tried to move over, and the puck bounced, and it's the kind of season that this team is having. The St. John Sea Dogs, it's just one of the worst seasons drawn out. You couldn't possibly imagine a worse scenario than this, and it's gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse from here because it hasn't gotten better. There's been games. The last game I was in, obviously no video of it, so it doesn't matter. Last game I was in, we let up 3 goals in a span of, I think, 3 minutes at the end of the game. We had a 3-goal lead, and we allowed the other team pretty much back into the game. And it was the worst thing I could have ever seen in my life. It was just such a piece of shit, honestly.
To Izaki. Offensive opportunity, 3-on-2.
All right, so
on that, makes the save.
Yeah, we got someone in the party trying to screw around. That's nice. We won't even try to talk to him. Forget it. We're too busy concentrating here. It's so hard. I gotta tell you, it is really hard not to sound like I'm complaining in any of these videos. It's not a big deal to do it. I mean, it's just the fact that everything that happens, doing the things that I do in net, I know I'm not perfect, and fuck it, I'm far from it at this point. I'm in the shit house. But it's just, the frustration builds up to the point where I just have nothing else to think about. It's just the negatives come in, and when you haven't won a game in this long, it is so hard to drag yourself out of that mindset. I mean, I just keep thinking of what's going to happen next. Once they score the first goal, it's just like, here it comes. Like, you're waiting for this shit to completely hit the fan. And it's not the first time you'd feel this in maybe offline be a pro, but even online. If you play drop-in games, if you play anything online, it is really the same thing. You're just waiting for the next breakdown to happen, and you want to play with confidence. I want to play with confidence as a goaltender. I would love to do that as a goalie. Nothing more than I want to do than play with confidence, and I'm able to do it in some areas. Sometimes I look at this game and I'm able to make a string of saves, and I'm like, man, like this is what I'm talking about. This is what I want. And then there's other points where it's just like, come on, like it's just, it's stuff that's so out of your control sometimes, but that's what I hate the most, is being helpless. That's where the largest derivation, or the widest span of it at least, comes from the fact of me being helpless, and which leads to me just completely fucking freaking out all the time, and it's easy to see why.
The last 10, these two have not played very well.
Well, at the risk of being disrespectful, these guys are fighting it out for the mediocrity.
Yeah, you don't want be a pro to be a constant grind of win or lose, constant win and constant lose. But so far, I have not found that balance, and it's unfortunate because this game. Like, look at it! I can't do anything. I cannot do anything about that. I'm sorry. I can't get into any more positioning instead of just completely overcommitting and then opening up that side of the net completely. What am I supposed to do there? Like, I'll look at this very critically. I'll watch myself. Yeah, I could have gone over to the right more. If I position myself more to the right, I'm going to open up that left side of the net. He's just going to shoot it. And I tried to anticipate that side, but maybe my glove high / pad low is not going to work. Glove low, pad low, whatever. So this is the kind of game. This is the kind of game you're going to have to suffer through. I don't know if it's going to be the same for you if you join an NHL team to start with or a better CHL team than St. John? I don't know. Because the frustration is just unbelievable. Like, you can't... We have 9 points in this season. 9 fucking points. And we're almost at 30 games. I can't really describe it anything else other than just fuck. But the game is great. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a fucking, you know, just an ungrateful prick. I love this game. This is a fucking fantastic game. But look at this. I literally can't fucking do it. I can't fucking do it. So, whatever.
That's a really nice.
We're just going to continue to struggle through this shit. Because I can't get over there any faster. I mean, I'm jamming on the right trigger. I'm trying to hug that post, and instead, that happens. I'm going to get stuck in a save animation because I can't. It's just a rebound control. It's a shot recovery. It's everything.
It's a huge lead. I mean, I don't know if they can add to it, but they don't have to.
So, I mean, this isn't really anything outside of the norm. I usually am good for about a couple goals at least in a period. 3 isn't that much different. And you saw with the sliders completely nerfing... Okay, see, we scored a goal there. I will mention that in the last game I played, nerfing all these sliders and everything, we still got shut out. Team still couldn't score. Those in the schedule, there was like 3 games we had to play in a row, which was just ridiculous. I don't know if the team. I know it's CHL, but if you ever have to play 3 games in a row, it's pretty dismal. But yeah, we had to do that. And one game we were able to, have a pretty good lead in, give it up at the end, and the other game we just got shut out in. So of course there is some balancing issues, obviously, or it's just the fact that, again, you start out at such a low level. Really, the boost pack only helps to a certain degree. You can't play every position, and if you want to, you may as well obviously play GM mode. And now that I think about it, I really should have just started a GM mode series. But I wanted to do the live the life thing. Wanted to show you guys, do you feel like goaltender is a little bit better to play? I can't get to that puck. I'm not going to get to it. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. Never.
Now, when you got a stick and you can take it back that far, with the power he's got, you're going to get a goal, and he did.
And Gary, don't take away.
Like, I already committed going to the butterfly of that guy because I thought that shot was coming. And we have a guy trailing in the slot there. Again, it's nothing new. It's just such a impossible thing. Impossible. I just don't know what to say. I don't. I'm speechless. I fucking suck at this game. That's all I gotta say.
And that's going to do it here in the first period. All of it's on one side of the board. 4-1 at the end of 1. Underway here in the second period. 2-on-2 the other way. Fresh shot. Good save with the glove. That one had a chance to find Twine. Moving in front.
They do that a lot. Computers will always bring the puck down way past those little face-off dots, like right around here. They'll bring that puck down, and they'll fucking pass it right through the crease. And the defense, for some reason, I don't know if it's just because the overalls are too low or whatever the reason is, they never impede that pass from happening. It always gets through. And they backdoor behind you for a goal every time. There's no reaction to it.
Wanted more on that one from that area.
I mean, one thing I have found helpful, has tried doing at least, is just not using the butterfly as much as I do. I mean, it's instinctive to have to go into the butterfly for most of my saves. I get it. It's just the way I've learned to play this game and what had worked for me mostly through playing it online. But I will say is I have never really been religious in trying to play this game in offline, like be a pro offline mode for the goaltender's position. I've never tried to get at it at this angle as much as I am now. Last year it was most of the same stuff, probably not as bad as this record would indicate, but did some of it last year and last year's NHL, and I was like, okay, it's all right. It's what a lot of the same stuff happening, but it's just it never really changed, I guess. I don't know.
As the neutral zone face-off win.
I mean, I can't really think of anything else here. There's times where it's good and a lot of times where it's bad. It's really
Goalie's got it.
at a loss for words at this point.
Fires it. Big time shot. Oh, he's going to have nightmares about that one. That should have been in the back of the net.
I mean, there's a part of me that does be like, I just want to be like, yeah, we'll just bump it down to rookie. Who cares? Whatever. It's fine. Let's just pat ourselves on the back. We know we suck and just, move on with our days. But no, let's just at least just get beat to a pulp and try to go out fighting somehow.
Scoring chance on the money.
I have inadvertently gotten into some goalie fights. They're
pushing it along the boards.
They're pretty much just what you expect. But
breaks up the offensive opportunity as he poke checks that one away to Chapman.
And I'm totally open to, just as I was thinking about, totally open to bringing this discussion, as they all are, really, from the videos, for open discussion for just, goalie mechanics in general. Like, where would you find yourself positioning in a manner against a computer, at least, where you wouldn't get screwed as much? You see, like, you try to work on the tendencies of, it's almost bad. You almost think like you're playing against humans no matter what. But you have to realize that you're playing against AI that's programmed to basically undress you at any given time. That's the biggest issue with it, because there's no real tendencies. Like, they're gonna go whichever way you show first, basically. It's just a fucking, it's a game of Uncle at this point. And it's really not, it's not as simple as it sounds, I guess, when you're just like, well, just stay with him as best you can every step of the way. I try to, of course, but it's just a lot easier said than done. For some reason, there's something about this game, this team, this position, it's not working for me. And I mean, I'm not ready to give up on it, but it's just the reality of it. It's just fucking, it's an annoyance. It's what brings on all of my rage. It's from that fact where it's just so unpredictable. Obviously the position's unpredictable, but I just can't seem to get it right, and it's just that feeling of, again, the buzz fucking word of this video is that helplessness feeling that, oh god, what's gonna happen next? Like, I have no idea what to do. I'm fucking lost. So you just kind of hope that your computers score enough goals. Generally, I can keep the team in the game around 3 goals. It's, it's not that difficult. Like a 3-3 game or something like that. And we've lost a lot of overtime games, shootout games, 5 of them so far. I think I was in for all 5 of them. But I've not, as strange as it sounds, you think I got benched more often in this game. But they don't. They keep starting me. They just want to fucking keep giving me chances, say, yeah, eventually you're going to get it at some point. I still have yet to win a game. It's how fucking pathetic I am at this shit. But it's true. It's that I won't feel satisfied, I guess, if it's on rookie, and if the fucking game is, nerfed down to the point where they're getting 1 shot on me a game. It's just not as satisfying. It's more, in a way, the frustration and the, all the fucking complaining and whatever. It's more incentive to do well. It adds fuel to that fucking proverbial fire that you want this success more than anything. You know how hard it is to get it. But if it's too easy to get and you get it too soon, it's almost like you have nothing left to play for. So it's more fun to be shitty, I guess. It was actually fun to see that the agent called me and said, hey, your play's been slipping lately. You're going to be in the 4th round. Well, fuck, I don't care about being a 4th round pick. You think I care about where I go? I'm not going to start anywhere, obviously, after this kind of season. I'll show you my stats at the end of this. They're miserable. It's definitely over 4 goals against average by now, and save percentage, I'd be surprised if it's in the 80s. And so, fuck, I can't even, I can't get anything right, but it's not a big deal. It's not like I'm in the NHL yet. It's not like I'm fighting for a spot on a team. I wholeheartedly expect to spend most of my days on an AHL roster, but again, I could say that and be all fine and well, and then just think about the fact that I can't earn XP unless I'm doing well. And this game doesn't reward XP for people who fucking suck. And I understand that. My report card's generally good. The goaltending report card's always lenient, always aware of the fact that if defenses are breaking down, again, I give up a rebound and there's no chance I could be in position for it like that, and it doesn't matter. But the report cards will say, sorry, and I'll say, yeah, me too.
Because he was focused on the rebound. He saw it when nobody else did.
And Gary, I know the goalie's not happy about the 5-hole tally, but that forward...
I mean, that time I definitely played the butterfly right. That puck's not getting a lot of lift on it, but I still can't get to it. I mean, I don't know. Again, it's this feeling of helplessness, this feeling of I have no idea what to do, and it's been a constant, an absolute constant. And what? There's no way around it. I can't think of any way around it.
Flips that softly to the other side. Under pressure, up against the boards and battling. Loose puck, he's got it. Back up to that blue line point area.
I don't know how many of you are interested in doing offline, be a pro for goalies. So that's why it's sort of, neither here nor there for what would work in this compared to what would work against humans in a real environment, in an online feature, an online setting. It's obviously it's 100% easier because humans are more predictable. I mean, sure, you're going to have to deal maybe with more breakaways depending on what kind of game mode you're in. If you're in drop-in games, most of the time you have to deal with more of that stuff because human instinct take more chances, so thus more stuff's going to happen that wouldn't be as predictable. But even then, it's not like this. This is just different. I have no way of describing it. That's why I'm obviously showing you that it's just such a, it's just its own thing. It's just this is not online be a pro goaltenders. You know, this is not what people do online. I mean, look at this. It's just ridiculous. I know I'm not giving my team a huge momentum boost by fucking allowing a bunch of goals. I get it. You know, fucking, it's demoralizing always looking up at the scoreboard and you're like, wow, fucking can never win a game. It's like, yeah, I know, I get it. If I could fucking jump into the game and play myself, I would love to.
To Burke. Good wrist shot. Big battle along the boards. To Cuomo.
I have tried to make it a conscious effort, though, to not really be like married to doing, you know,
Chapman.
This, you know, just pushing across from one side to the other, because it's really not been working. But to just stay square and stay up, and it's sort of hard for me because I don't trust an autosave for the 5-hole. I really don't. And it's not like I've been burned a lot in the 5-hole area, but it's just, it's not something I want to do and get used to not doing. Because, generally speaking, online it is a problem if players understand that your 5-hole isn't that great and they look for that. They start shooting for it. Computers, I'm not sure in this game type in offline be a pro, if they really try to aim for those areas. I think they're always just trying to, you know, lace a shot above you or even lower, but they don't really shoot it right at you. I mean, they always know. They have that all-knowing, all-seeing, all-powerful vision. They know exactly where you're going to be and where that shot needs to go for you, for it to be almost an impossible save for you to make. So, obviously, to counter that is to just start jerking off your left stick as much as you can so that it doesn't happen to that. Sort of been a philosophy I've been trying to do, or trying to, I don't know, somehow get or understand, but it's kind of a dangerous way of thinking, I guess. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're not at least going down the butterfly for some of the time, then there's definitely an issue, especially if it's close quarters and you really, you can't do anything about it. But again, I don't claim to know everything. In fact, if this video teaches you anything, it should say to you that, first of all, I'm fucking terrible, and second of all, this is one of the most unpredictable game modes probably out of the whole box, the whole set of game modes that this game features. I really do, because you can talk about how many tendencies the computers could have, but it's just like, it's just one thing after another. You can never, it's overwhelming. You know, you can never pinpoint a certain thing you're doing wrong, and then just find something else later on, like 5 seconds later even. And you're just like, oh, now I gotta work on this, now I gotta work on that. But then it comes to a point where it feels like you have to work on so much that, again, you're helpless.
There's a nice play to slow down the offense. Under pressure to Reway.
So, I mean, this will go down as another loss, and really, it's just comical at this point. I know for a fact what will end up happening. See, I mean, he scored off that. He fucking scored off that. What is this game? Someone tell me what is this game. I have no idea. I could not tell you.
Berg's sip on that shot off a backhand in the high slot's pretty impressive.
And this goalie tried to rely on his glove, but he got beat.
I have no words. None at all.
Hometown team late in a game.
This is the kind of thing that ruins your team. That ruins your pro. You have no control. None at all. Am I supposed to overcommit that much to the right-hand side on a backhand? No. Any sane person isn't going to sit here and say, yeah, I was so far out of position. First of all, I made the fucking save, and the rebound goes in the net anyways. Again, not something really new to the NHL franchise. It's happened plenty of times before. But it's just one of those things. Like, when the game isn't going your way, and you had to fucking, look up and see that you were down 5-2, basically anything can happen at this point.
Loose puck, and he's got it. Takes the shot. Not going to make it. Hits a player. Moves that one on his own stick. One last rush to end the period. He's up ice.
But it's almost like real life. Once this kind of shit happens, you can see the confidence of people just dwindle. Like, I don't play this position with confidence anymore. I don't go out and challenge shots, and I definitely don't, do as much as I used to. I try to limit my game as much because it's just so fucking frustrating, and I can't figure out a way to do anything different. And really, it only hurts you in the end. I mean, if you go away from your style, it's only going to fuck you more.
Put it in the record books. The Sea Dogs defeat in this
But
game
instead,
really came through the first two
what happens,
periods.
you
They
get a
couldn't do
few
anything
EA
about it
pucks,
in the
which,
final stanza.
again,
I know they
currency
were up
really
against a
doesn't
team
mean a
that
lot.
dug in
It's not a lot of
defensively
pucks.
once they
You
got
can't
the
do
big
much on
lead.
Ultimate Team.
But show me something.
You let up
know you're going to get
fucking
shots.
6
You should get a chance
goals.
to
That's
play in their
great.
end. They didn't do
And
anything.
once again, you're looking back up on the fact that you still haven't won a game. Again, XP, you get crap for because you can't do well. I'm suicidal over this game. I can't figure it out. There is nothing I can do. The fans fucking hate you. There's -6. Management's not too fond of you. There's, -1. It is what it is. I'll show you my career stats just for the lulz because it's how fucking, dismal I am. I'm all over the place. Got to go to pro. And you're going to go to career statistics, and look at it. I still have yet to win a game. I've lost every single one. 4.01 goals against average and an .833 save percentage. So, yeah, we're not doing well. Out of 18 games played, I still have yet to win one. So, yeah, not doing anywhere near what is expected of me, of course. We'll have to figure out a different way to go about this whole thing. So, until I figure out a way how to win, I will be back again next time. Sometime soon.